So today's video is going to be very interesting. I'm going to be showing you how to create an IP sweeper, an automated tool using bash scripting in Kali Linux. So have you ever wondered how hackers can find every device on a network in seconds? They use automated tools. Today we aren't going to be using Nmap. We are building our own custom IP sweeper from scratch using nothing but bash. So let's get into it. Before we script, we need to know what a live host looks like. When we ping a machine that's alive, it sends back a response, right? So let's say, okay, let's say we want to ping my host machine from Kali Linux. I'll say ping dash, let's send one packet of data, 192.168.56.150. This is my host IP address on my host only um, network adapter. So when I send the ping, as you can see, we get 64 bytes from the host machine, which means the ping was successful. If you check, it says one packet transmitted, one received, which means the ping was successful. That automatically means that the host is alive, right? Because if the host is dead, we'll get an error. You can try that by saying ping dash c1 dot. Let's change this 150 to a device that is currently dead. So you can see it says destination host unreachable, and there's no 64 bytes in the message. So pay attention to that 64 bytes because that's what we are going to be using to create this tool. So let's clear the terminal. So the first thing we are going to be doing, we are going to write a for loop. We aren't just going to be typing um what do you call it? I'm going to be typing the command that I'm about to write. We are going to be typing it 254 times. That 254 being the amount of possible devices that can be on the subnet. You understand? So it can be 1 to 254. So we are going to use a for loop for this. And in Linux, the sequence command is our best friend when it comes to using a range of values. That's for a for loop. So we're going to write out this command for IP in dollar sign, then sequence 1 to 254, then close the bracket, then end it with a semicolon, then do. This simply means that in the range of this 1 to 254, do this particular thing 1 to 254 times. So that's what the command means. Don't worry, I'll create a more detailed bash tutorial. This is just to show you what bash can do, how it can work, and how it can make your life easier as a ethical hacker or cybersecurity expert. So we are going to use 192.168. This is the ping that we typed in earlier. Then 56 dots. So pay attention. Instead of writing that 150 again, you understand? Instead of writing that 150 again, we are going to inject in this variable that we're going to get from this sequence. So instead of 150, it will be 1, then 2, then 3, all the way to 254. So to do that, we write this variable, the name will be IP because IP in, you understand? So we're going to say dollar, then IP. Then we'll use grep, or let me show you how we can use grep to do it instead, so that this long command does not confuse you. Let's use grep because some people may not know what grep does. So let's ping 150 again. Then we use grep 64 bytes. As you can see, it has singled out that particular line where the 64 bytes resides. So this 192.168.56.150 is our target. You understand? That's our target. So we have to cut everything else out. So to do that, we use the cut tool. This cut tool takes a delimiter. In this case, we use a space. We're using a space because that space divides each and every word and character in the sentence. So after using space, we specify the number of words or the number of characters that we want it to cut out. Understand? So we are going to be using 4. Let's count from the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means the fourth character after the space is what it's going to use. So next we are going to trim, or before the trim command, let's run this first. As you can see, we got the IP, but there's a colon at the end. So we are going to remove that colon. And to do that, we'll trim. There's another tool called trim. It uses a delimiter also. That delimiter, in this case, what we want to remove is the colon. As you can see, we got the IP. But when you look at it, we don't really need the IP because we already know the IP that we are pinging. Understand? We already know it's alive from our previous ping. So this is just to show us the basics of how it works. So let's go back to that our for loop command. IP in, hopefully Kali Linux reminds us, or we can just do this. Oh, it's missing probably because I didn't complete the command before. I didn't click enter. So let's just write it again. 254 semicolon, then do. And we type that ping from earlier. We're sending one packet of data, remember. Then 192.168.1.56, sorry. Then we are going to replace that last number, that 150, with the number that we want to be replaced that's the range of numbers that we want to be replaced every single time. We are doing this so we don't have to type in, okay, 192.168.56.1, then 192.168.168.56.2. So it's going to be very hectic and time consuming. So that's why we're using a for loop. So after this, we are going to use that grep command I showed you earlier to single out that 64 bytes. And after doing that, we are going to use the cut command as well. Remember, it takes a delimiter, and that delimiter that we're using is space. Okay. Then after that space, we introduce the number of characters that we want. Then we trim it. And to do this trim, we need a delimiter as well, and that delimiter is colon, which means is that colon that we want to delete from the sequence. That colon that we want to delete. So we're done with the command. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to enter and done. So notice the and at the end. That tells the computer to run all 254 pings at the same time. Without this, it will take 5 minutes for the command to run because they are not going to be running simultaneously. They are going to be running one after the other. So by putting this and, it tells the computer to run it simultaneously, all the pings. So instead of 5 minutes, it's going to take 5 seconds. So let's click enter and see the results. Okay, we must have made an error. Sorry, we must have made an error. Where did this error come from? Um, where did you come from? 64 bytes in cuts and delimiter. Hmm. So guys, the error that we were seeing before when we did this, sorry, when we did this. So these are the process IDs, and that's because we added the and in the command. But when we do that in the bash script, that's the sh script. When we do that in the sh script, we don't get anything like that. So we are going to remove that and just take the slow process as it is. We have to put a semicolon here. So it's going to take some time to run. It's going to take a very long time. I might just have to fast forward the video. As you can see, the first IP has appeared, which is my Kali Linux IP.